Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're stepping onto the path of fitness, specifically fitness walking. It's maybe the most accessible way to get moving.
Yeah, it really is. And our source today is Fitness Walking for Dummies by Liz Neporent. She's, an expert with a solid background in exercise physiology.
Right. Lots of experience, contributions to big publications. Seems like she knows her stuff.
Definitely. Real-world practical knowledge packed in there.
Absolutely. So our mission here is to dive deep, pull out the key stuff, the surprising bits, the really practical insights from this book.
All to help you, the listener, walk your way to fitness effectively and, importantly, safely.
We'll touch on pretty much everything the book covers. Prepping before you start, gear, food, adding strength, flexibility.
And keeping things interesting, staying motivated, all that good stuff.
Let's dive in then. Okay, so let's unpack this. The book starts right at the very beginning. Before you even think about shoes, actually, there are these key foundational steps.
Yeah, and the first big one is checking in with your doctor. They're quite specific about it.
How so?
Well, they give criteria.
Right.
Like, if you're over 35 and answer yes to even one health question on their list, or under 35, but say yes to two or more.
Then you should see a physician first.
Exactly. Before starting an exercise program. Especially they mention if you have things like high blood pressure or, bad knees.
That makes sense. Those could affect certain tests or exercises.
For sure. And speaking of tests, they talk about assessing your lower body strength. Pretty crucial for walking, obviously.
They mentioned the wall sit test.
That's the one, the classic wall sit. Lean against the wall, knees bent.
Like you're sitting in a chair, but there's no chair.
Right. And they give timings. Hold it for 30 seconds or less. That suggests a low average strength.
Okay.
But if you can hold it 31 to 60 seconds, you're kind of in the average zone.
And they add a warning, right? About knee pain.
Oh, yeah. Super important. If your knees start aching during the test, stop immediately. Don't push through pain.
Good advice. Okay, now this part I found really interesting, the goal setting section. It's more than just decide to walk more.
Totally. It's about making goals realistic, actually attainable. It's almost strategic.
They tell that story, don't they? About the singer.
Yeah. The singer who wanted to lose, 15 pounds overnight for a performance?
Right. And the author's advice was just buy a new dress.
Exactly. It's a funny but powerful way to show how unrealistic those crash goals are. And dangerous, too, focusing only on the scale number.
Which the book points out is often the trap, isn't it? Just chasing a number can be really demotivating.
Yeah. So instead, they push for stepping stone goals, smaller wins.
Like daily goals.
Yeah, especially when you're starting out or, maybe struggling a bit. They help build that consistency.
And I liked the idea of backup goals.
Me too. Life happens, right? You get injured or things get crazy busy. Having a plan B stops you from feeling like a total failure and just quitting.
Keeps you in the game.
And tracking progress, keeping a diary for workouts, and even food.
That really works.
The book says it's highly effective. There's something about having to actually write down that you skipped a walk or ate that extra biscuit.
It makes you think twice.
It really does. Plus, logging the walks you do complete feels good, gives you that sense of accomplishment.
Totally. And then finally, don't just hit a goal and stop.
Right. Reevaluate what's next. Keep the momentum going.
So the big takeaway from this first part seems to be start smart. Know where you're starting from, check in if needed, and set goals that actually help you succeed step by step.
Exactly. Build that solid foundation.
Okay, let's get practical. Gear, what you need, how to stay safe, feet first right. Shoes and socks seem critical according to the book.
Absolutely paramount. And for socks, they actually say, don't worry too much about fancy jargon. Just test different types.
What are we looking for then?
Thick, but not too thick is the main thing, to cut down on friction. And they have this neat little trick.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing thin socks, like liners or even nylons, under your main walking sock adds another layer against rubbing.
Huh. Interesting. Padding.
Optional, they say. Extra cushioning in the heel or forefoot if you like it, but not essential.
And what about things like corns, bunions?
Well, the book makes a really good point here. Often, those are caused by your other shoes. The non-walking ones that are too tight.
Ah, like dress shoes or heel.
Exactly. So the fix often involves ditching those, using pads, or sometimes even cutting little openings in shoes for relief.
Wow. Okay. They also mention Morton's neuroma.
Yeah, that's inflamed nerves, usually near the pinky toe. It can be painful even when you're not walking. Just something to be aware of if you get foot pain.
Got it. Moving up. Clothing. What's the recommendation?
Moisture-wicking fabrics are key. Things like Coolmax, Suplex, they let sweat evaporate so you stay cooler. Big difference compared to, say, cotton.
Right. Cotton just gets wet and stays wet.
And if you're walking in the rain, they stress the difference between water-resistant and truly waterproof.
Important distinction.
Very. You want waterproof, like Gore-Tex, because it keeps rain out but still lets your perspiration escape. Water-resistant stuff often doesn't breathe well.
Makes sense. Any tips on where to find this gear?
The book actually names a couple of catalogs.
Yeah.
Race Ready for bright, visible stuff, and Roadrunner Sports for, like, different tight lengths and good service.
Good to know. Okay, so you're geared up, but then there's safety. Huge topic.
Absolutely critical. The book lays out some non-negotiables.
Like walking facing traffic.
Yes, always walk against traffic so you can see cars coming. Tell someone you're out and when you'll be back, especially if you're alone.
And carry ID. Medical info, too.
Definitely. And a really strong recommendation. Avoid walking alone at night, especially in quiet or secluded spots.
Join a group.
Yeah, join one or start one. And they make a point of saying this applies to men, too, not just women. Safety in numbers.
What about listening to music? Personal stereos.
The headphone debate. The book's pretty realistic. It says you're probably going to break the rule of not using one at all.
Huh. Probably true for many.
So if you do use one, the absolute minimum is keep the volume low, really low, constantly scan around you, and actively fight against zoning out. Stay aware.
Makes sense. Be present.
And be extra cautious near places someone could hide, thick bushes, alleys, doorways. Avoid them if you can, unless you're hiking, but then
Don't hike alone.
never hike alone. They repeat that one.
Okay, personal security.
Yeah.
Valuables. Self-defense.
Minimal valuables. Maybe a bit of change for an emergency call, though payphones are rare now. As for self-defense gadgets like mace, the book's take is interesting.
What's that?
Only carry it if you are genuinely prepared mentally and practically to use it. The author shares a story about carrying a knife, but feeling deeply uncomfortable, worried it could be used against her.
That's a really important point. It could escalate things.
Exactly. So the book suggests a police whistle as a good alternative. It makes a lot of noise, attracts attention, can scare someone off, but it can't really be turned against you in the same way.
Smart compromise. And hydration. Always important.
Crucial. Carry water. Always. Drink often, even before you feel thirsty, the book advises.
Yeah.
And drink more after your walk.
That ice trick.
Oh, yeah. Simple but brilliant. Fill your bottle halfway, freeze it, then top it up with water before you go. Keeps it cool longer.
Nice. And dealing with weather. Hot weather, rain.
Key adjustments needed. Hot weather saps your strength faster. You have to accept that and maybe ease off. Heat cramps are mentioned as a first warning sign. If you get them, stop.
Don't be a hero.
Definitely not. Rain is more about personal tolerance, but good waterproof gear makes a huge difference in comfort and preventing chills.
Okay, fuel. Let's talk about what the book recommends eating to power these walks.
Right, nutrition. It breaks down the roles of carbs and fats quite clearly.
Complex carbs versus simple carbs.
Exactly. Complex carbs, think whole grains, vegetables, give you that steady, sustained energy plus nutrients. Simple carbs like candy, sugary drinks give you a quick spike, then a crash. Often empty calories.
Though fruits and veggies have both simple and complex, plus all the good stuff like vitamins.
True. And then fats. The book notes most people eat way more fat, like around 40% of calories, than the recommended 15–30%.
And too much fat is linked to health problems.
Yeah, heart disease, some cancers, especially saturated fats, the ones solid at room temperature, like in fatty meat or butter. They're not great for cholesterol.
Got it. What about fiber?
Introduce it slowly. That's the advice. Increase by maybe just 1 or 2 grams a day to let your digestive system adjust. Avoid sudden, big jumps.
Good tip. Vitamins and minerals.
Macronutrients. Essential, but they don't provide energy directly. They're needed for all the chemical reactions in your body. Vitamins from living sources, minerals are inorganic.
And the supplements. This is always a big topic. What's the book's take?
It's quite balanced, actually. Supplements can help ensure you meet your basic daily needs, but, and this is a big but, they absolutely do not replace a healthy diet.
So food first.
Food first. And they warn against megadosing. Taking huge amounts of water-soluble vitamins mostly just results in extensive pee. But with fat-soluble ones, A, D, K, the body stores them. So taking way too much can actually be harmful, cause real health issues.
And don't overspend thinking expensive pills are better.
Nope. Your body doesn't care about the price tag.
What about fad diets? Atkins, Zone, those kinds?
Briefly mentioned. The book suggests their initial success often comes down to one simple thing. They restrict calories overall. It's not usually some magic formula.
Just calorie deficit in disguise.
Pretty much. Now, for walkers specifically, there are some eating strategies.
Like eating before a walk?
Yeah, a small, high-carb snack about 30 to 60 minutes beforehand is good for energy. But maybe avoid stuff that's super high fiber or really acidic right before could cause stomach issues for some.
Okay. And after the walk?
Also important, eat afterwards, even if you don't feel super hungry right away. Again, a smallish snack. Focus on carbs to replenish those muscle glycogen stores. Juicy fruit is great because it also helps replace water and electrolytes.
Replenish and recover. Makes sense.
So putting this all together, the book really paints fitness as more than just the walk itself. It's a three-legged stool.
Right. The 3 pillars. Cardio.
You're walking, yeah. Then flexibility stretching. And strength training, lifting weights or using resistance.
And the key idea is you need all 3.
We really do. The book argues that lacking one limits the benefits you get from the others. They work together.
So why is strength training so important for walkers? It's not like you're trying to be a bodybuilder.
Right. It's about functional strength. The book points out it strengthens areas prone to fractures, especially as we age: hips, thighs, spine, shoulders. It's site-specific protection.
And it helps with weight management, too.
Hugely. Muscle burns more calories at rest than fat does. Significantly more. The book throws out a number: gaining just 1 pound of muscle could burn an extra 150 calories a day just sitting there.
Wow, that adds up.
It really does. And for anyone worried about getting bulky,
Yeah, that's a common concern.
the book explains muscle is much denser than fat. So you might lose inches, look trimmer, feel firmer. Even if the scale doesn't budge much initially, muscle takes up less space.
Good point. Do you need a gym membership for this?
Not necessarily. The book suggests you can get a decent setup at home for maybe around $150. An aerobic step is versatile. Use it for step-ups and as a bench.
And cheaper options.
Oh yeah, get creative. Soup cans for really light weights, like 1 to 3 pounds. Just make sure they're the same weight and easy hold.
Right.
Then as you get stronger, things like empty bleach bottles filled with water or beans or sand. Instant homemade dumbbells. Just weigh them to make sure they're equal.
Resourceful. Okay, pillar number 3. Flexibility.
Defined simply as your range of motion around a joint.
And why is that important for walking?
Well, as we age, tendons can shorten naturally, making us feel stiff, restricting movement. Stretching, especially the back of the thighs, hips, calves, helps counteract that.
Keeps you limber.
And it helps correct muscle imbalances. Those little things that can make you move awkwardly, maybe feel clumsy, and even lead to injuries down the line. Good flexibility keeps your walking stride smooth and easy.
Makes sense. Any specific stretching techniques mentioned?
Yeah, it touches on a few. PNF, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. Can give great results, often needs a partner, but there's a risk if you push too hard.
Risk.
The book shares a pretty scary story about a trainer overdoing it and actually tearing a client's muscle during a PNF stretch. So, caution needed.
Yikes. Okay. What else?
AI, or active isolated stretching. This involves contracting the muscle opposite the one you're stretching and only holding stretches for like 2 seconds
Why so short?
to avoid triggering the muscle's natural stretch reflex, which makes it tighten up. Book says it's less painful, good for isolating muscles, but maybe lacks strong research backing, and some positions are tricky.
Interesting. One more.
CRX, contract, relax, and contract. It's a combo method. You stretch, then tense the muscle being stretched, relax, then tense the opposite muscle while stretching the target one again. They use a quad stretch as an example of the sequence.
Sounds a bit complex, but maybe effective for getting deeper stretches safely.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
The main point is stretching matters for walkers.
Okay, so we've covered the foundations, gear, fuel, strength, flexibility. Now, how do you, level up your walk, make it more challenging, or just keep it interesting?
Good question. The book moves into advanced walking techniques, interval training especially. This is for people wanting to maybe get faster, compete, just add some spice.
Different kinds of intervals?
Yep. Sprint intervals, short bursts of high intensity, short rests, definitely for more experienced walkers. Then there's lactic acid training.
Sounds painful.
It's about building tolerance to that burn you feel when you push hard. Intervals of maybe 60, 90 seconds helps you sustain a faster pace for longer. And aerobic intervals. Longer intervals, maybe 2 to 5 minutes at a faster pace, focused on improving your oxygen processing. Builds endurance, burns more calories.
They also mentioned that mow-down method.
Yeah, that was amusing. Basically, using the act of passing other walkers as a motivator to pick up your pace. A
Right.
bit competitive, but hey, whatever works.
And counting steps for intervals.
Right. A simpler way if you don't want to mess with timers or distances.
Yeah.
Just count steps.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 fast paces, 10 easy paces, then gradually increase the fast ones. Easy to implement.
The book also touches on walking in special situations, like pregnancy.
Briefly, yes. Number one rule, talk to your doctor. Always. Then focus on how hard it feels perceived exertion, rather than sticking rigidly to heart rate targets. Don't compare yourself to pre-pregnancy fitness. And be cautious on treadmills, as balance can change.
Good safety points. And balance in general.
Yeah, the book makes a nice point that walking itself is great for preserving balance, because it's dynamic. Unlike just sitting or stationary exercise, older folks might need to consciously work on it if they've been inactive.
Where you walk matters too, right? Treadmills versus outdoors.
Definitely. Treadmills are convenient. The book offers tips on buying one test at first. Be careful with used ones unless they're properly refurbished with a warranty.
And the speed versus pace thing.
Yeah. The author prefers focusing on pace minutes per mile rather than speed in miles per hour. Feels it gives a better sense of workout quality. Personal preference, though.
And on the treadmill, you can either tune in or zone out.
Exactly. Tune in. Focus on your stats, form, effort. Zone out. Watch TV, listen to music or audiobooks. The book mentions people watching soap operas or renting movies at the gym.
Whatever gets you through the workout. What about outdoor options?
Lots of variety. That funny anecdote about the person in flat Kansas using parking garage ramps for hill training shows you can find challenges anywhere.
Clever. The beach.
Nice scenery, no traffic. But downsides. Easier to get dehydrated, sun exposure, and the eternal battle with sand in your shoes after.
Yeah.
Need to dry them out properly.
Trails and hiking.
Great for beating boredom, getting into nature, finding trails, look at parks departments, chamber of commerce, local walking groups, bookstores, online searches. But the key safety reminder, again.
And never hike alone.
Got it. Okay, last big area, motivation and resources. How do you stick with it? What stands out to you here?
Finding what truly motivates you is key. The book shares that funny story about the author's own mother getting motivated by, well, basically the threat of public embarrassment. A magazine wanted to feature her if she didn't lose weight.
Extreme, but it worked for her. The point is, find your own why.
Exactly. Revisit those goals we talked about earlier and reward yourself when you hit milestones. That positive reinforcement helps.
What about making it more exciting?
Plan walking trips. The book mentions specific travel clubs like ERA or Backroads that focus on walking tours. Or just search online. Even using treadmill videos of scenic walks, like that Hawaiian beach example, can break the monotony.
Good ideas. Any specific resources mentioned? Yeah, TOPS Club Take Off Pounds Sensibly. It's a nonprofit, low fee, has walking programs. Personal trainers are an option too, maybe just for a few sessions to get you started right. Costs vary, obviously. There's even an online option mentioned, Physical Genius Home Trainer.
And online communities.
Big source of support. The book talks about an iVillage chat where people encourage someone to start walking. Finding that community can make a real difference.
And dogs.
Yes, great walking buddies. But the book wisely reminds us they need to ease into exercise too, just like us. Can't take a couch potato dog on a 10-mile hike first time out.
Very true. Okay, so wrapping this up. We've really dug into Fitness Walking for Dummies. It seems simple, but there's a lot underneath.
Definitely. It's accessible, yes, but doing it well involves preparation, safety, the right fuel, rounding it out with strength and flexibility, and finding ways to stay engaged.
We've pulled out a ton of ideas, hopefully giving you, the listener, lots to think about from this one source. It shows how much strategy and knowledge can go into just putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, think about what resonated with you today. Was it the doctor check-in details, the sock trick, the thoughts on safety gear, why strength training matters, the interval ideas?
Or maybe one of the motivational tactics?
Right. We've seen that this simple activity is actually a pretty comprehensive path to fitness. It touches on physical prep, mental focus, even awareness of your surroundings.
So the final thought to leave you with, how might taking just one new idea from this deep dive, maybe something small, maybe something bigger, change how you approach your next walk?